coming to you morning time this time, but today we had worked on setting up our project template on a live site that people can go on to and access on the World Wide Web. So the cool thing is we were successfully able to get the site loaded. The weird thing is the tool that I'd used to upload the files that we had pulled from our terminal for managing our project template. There's something weird where it's not letting me go back through and upload files to show you guys the full process. But nonetheless, I'm going to walk you guys through what I did so that you guys can have the steps for building out your own projects. So we had used ChatGPT as our guide as far as walking us through the steps, but the first step it had us do was opening up our terminal and running the command npm run. Now we did get a message as far as something that could present issues down the road, but it seems like it's a fairly simple fix, and I wanted to just go through the process of getting the site live on the internet. So again, first step is running the npm run build. This isn't something immediately needing to be addressed, and so we're able to go on to the next steps. Now, the next thing we had done is we had gone over to GitHub and we had created a project repository, which is essentially just a file for like a folder, I guess, for tracking a bunch of files and folders from a project. So we had gone through, it's a pretty simple, straightforward step, but you just go to upload a file. Then you're going to go ahead and grab and drag whatever files you're going to be using. And given the file for the overall project template itself was fairly large, we couldn't just copy and paste the entire thing. So we had to go to project template and then individually grab the main necessary files. So the three most important things that you need to grab aside from the build folder, which is what we just created, is going to be the package.json, the public, and the src file. So you'll just grab and drag these into GitHub. And once you've done that, you'll go ahead and hit commit changes, and then you will see it loaded into your repository. You'll be able to access those files. Now, there's a few different sites that ChatGPT had prompted us to use, but the first that is suggested was Vercel, and so that is what we had gone with. And so Vercel was, okay, now it's actually working this time, but Vercel was fairly easy to navigate. Essentially what you do is you'll go on to open a new project. And so opening a new project, I want to keep this page open so we don't have any issues like we had encountered the first time we had tried to show you. But essentially, you'll log on to Vercel, you'll set up a new project, which is just as simple as going over to this page right here. And then from here, you're going to be able to access your Git repositories. We'll go ahead and pull examples since this is the GitHub repository I put together trying to troubleshoot. But essentially what you're going to do is you'll name the project, and then you're going to go over and select the framework preset. Now, this may have just done it because we'd already gone through the process or just reading the files, but you're going to hit React app. That's the one you're going to want selected. And then in your build command, you're going to enter npm run build, and your output directory is going to be build. So it's already got those pretty much pre-selected for us. But essentially after that, you're going to go ahead, run deploy. And if everything's done successfully, you're going to get this notification right here. Now, the first time we had gone through, we got an error, and that error was just due to the fact that we'd only grabbed and dragged the build file. So again, make sure that you're dragging the package.json, the src, and the public file. Make sure you're including all the core elements that you need for your project. Now, it does look like we're able to customize the domain, which I do already have a domain bought, so I'll be working on that a little bit later. But after getting everything loaded, this is our site. So this is the official link that you can access from your own phone or laptop. And the cool thing is I do still have some of the available supply left over on the Mint. So if anybody does have Test Sequoia and you're just wanting to buy the NFT just to have some fun with some play money, some fake money, you can go and connect to the site. So again, this is just a template. This is very simple and rudimentary as far as what we're going to include in the future. But again, we wanted to just walk through the steps, the stages, and the process of getting a project site live so that we know what to do when we're starting to work with clients. Now, I'm really starting to see some activity pick up in the NFT space, specifically the RWA space. Every single day, I'm seeing more and more things about it. And the thing is we're seeing different platforms come out that are enabling people to build, similar to what we're doing, right? Essentially, there's places like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and figure out how to add a sticker here. But essentially, Leon a Boat had posted a tweet exactly about this. So he said, it takes one good product to change the course of our industry. Pump Fund ushered the era of meme coins. Friend Tech popularized SocialFi. Poly Market redefined prediction market. If you're a builder, remember that you're one product iteration away from changing the course of Web3. That's exactly what we're trying to do. So, you know, given there's just so much attention and activity navigating into this space, I heard someone say something that stuck with me, and it's that strategists know exactly how to prioritize the right action to take. And I like to think of myself as a good strategist, but my actions have not necessarily been all that strategic as far as really getting ourselves in prime position. So we need to make some adjustments. Now, given our template that we've created as far as the token, as far as the site, it's functional, but we don't have an asset and we don't have attention. And those are the two things that we need to monetize. So my initial thought as far as strategy is how can we immediately add value to the crypto and the blockchain space? And I remember back to the lending contract that we began working on the code for just a few days ago, or maybe a week or two ago, relatively recently. But essentially, that contract, I can set it up so that anybody who owns an NFT can list it as collateral, and anybody on the blockchain can go on to lend out their funds in exchange for a return on their investment. So we'll be setting up the loan collateral contract because I think setting up the lending machine is going to be able to allow us to really start adding value to the space and start growing a presence, before just going out and saying, "Hey, I'm trying to raise a bunch of money." So there's there's a few different things to create as far as setting up the project itself. The first is going to be just a basic lending contract, which we'll call it like the balloon contract or something like that, just because this one isn't going to be any sort of payment type style. Just for simplicity purposes, it'll be a balloon payment. So you got an NFT, you post it as collateral, you want a loan for 2 months on, let's say $1,000, you'll pay back 1,200, and if you don't pay back the 1,200 by the end of the 2 months, then the NFT is sent out to the lender. So that'll be the first one. Second is going to be, given the fact that obviously the NFTs that we're creating have the ability to, act as a marker for profit distribution. We're going to have a contract where payments can be made, and it's tracking it in USD. So that way, again, you're getting paid yield regardless of how the market is fluctuating. But essentially, the contract itself will track in USD value how much money has been paid back, and that way, given the contract itself is going to have an address that should be able to receive funds when we distribute profit from our fund distributing contract. So we'll have to test this out, but I'm thinking that is going to be the best direction towards getting something that is of value and of use to people on the blockchain relatively immediately, because pretty much all we have to do is we set up the contract. That should be relatively simple. Then we get a front end interface going. We've already walked through the process of how to do that. And from there, it's really just about scaling. So figuring out how to constantly upload new listings and have that process all be automated. And yeah, I mean, those are kind of just the main components: building the smart contract, building the front end, and then scalability. So being able to add different listings for people to see what is available for loans and what's available for collateral. So yeah, we've got our work cut out for us, but honestly, given we've got about a week left, a little bit over a week left in November, if we could get this running by December, I think that'd be pretty cool going into the next year, starting off 2025 with something live and being used on the web. So if you're interested in blockchain tech, if you have an NFT portfolio and you think you might use some of the stuff I just talked about, make sure to like, subscribe, and with that being said, I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.